Hello and welcome to very first lecture in fourth chapter of our comprehensive course on machine learning, data science, and artificial intelligence. Uh, in this lecture, this chapter. It's a short chapter. Only a few hours will be required, maybe just less than 3-4 hours. Introduction to NumPy library and its importance in data science. And in bracket, I have written basic NumPy. The reason is that immediately following this, there is another chapter, advanced NumPy library and its importance in data science. And after that, there is another introduction to pandas. Now these NumPy and pandas, they are the two most fundamental libraries in Python. And a lot of data scientists' work is based on these two, NumPy and pandas. So that's why it is required that one must have firm grasp on this NumPy and pandas library. Even for pandas, we will have multiple chapters. For example, this is chapter 7, data wrangling with pandas. This is chapter 8, data manipulation with pandas. Then when we start chapter 9, this one, then actually our data science discussion will start. So this is for those who become restless because learning data science for the first time. Some of you might be coming from some background where you have already have some basic idea. That's a different thing. But if you are fresh person and you don't even know the programming thing and you want to learn the data science, then at that moment the initial learning curve is pretty steep, and you need to someone who does a little bit of hand holding and takes you through that initial steep part. And the method is like that initially a lot of support is provided, and gradually those supports are slowly withdrawn as the person's own faith becomes strong enough to withstand the climb. And one stage comes after which the role of tutor or mentor is reduced just to provide guidelines, and thereafter the person can cruise along the rest of the things on his own. But many times the new learner gets fed up. When will that stage come? So how far I have already learned, it is just like climbing a steep mountain, say Mount Everest climbing. Then I will say that you have not even reached the base camp of your climbing so far. You have finished maybe 5% of your work. So it is helpful to get this idea. Other reason is that this chapter is very short. So some may get idea that someone who is familiar with NumPy may get idea that what is this? This person is wrapping up NumPy in just this much discussion. Then for that type of person, it is always better for a tutor to be transparent. So this is advanced NumPy, and similarly then for pandas also similarly we will have 3 chapters. Okay, so that should make you satisfied that we will cover everything in adequate depth. And once NumPy and pandas are learned, then we will start with exploratory data analysis. Okay, even that is the beginning, and then we will finish initial around maybe 3-4 chapters after this, that is 9, 10, 11, 12. Then you will say that you have completed around 10 to 15% of the required journey. Okay, so you will have to have patience, that is required. Fine. Let us start with this small but important chapter, that is introduction to NumPy library and its importance in data science or basic NumPy. For your reference only, I have copied 2 diagrams from the first chapter discussion. This is also because to calm down those nerves who become restless that what we are doing. I had enrolled for machine learning, artificial intelligence, and those things are not coming at all. And we are learning Python and NumPy and what is this? So this discussion, which we had done earlier, again in very brief. Data science comes here in the intersection, and machine learning also. You can see that it is an interdisciplinary subject. You have to have some knowledge of mathematics and statistics. So math and statistics come in this blue section. You have to have some knowledge of computer science and data processing. That comes in this orange-like section. And you have to have some domain expertise. Domain expertise usually comes by only 2 methods. One, by working actually on job, depending upon whether the company you are working is in pharmaceutical or retail or banking, or you will gradually develop domain expertise. But nowadays companies expect the person to have some basic knowledge about the domain even before joining the first job. It's not very kind, but that's the reality of job market. So domain expertise can be obtained by another method, second method, that is by working on a variety of different projects. So we will work on a variety of different projects in various different domains, healthcare and finance and retail and pharmaceuticals and so many others. Data science is practically used everywhere, and in country like India, it is still learning to use data. So it will be used in future perhaps at least 50 to 100 times more than it is being used today. So domain expertise you can get by working on project in your selected domain, and you can even work on multiple projects also. Second, this diagram. I had shown this diagram also in the initial chapters, but again some discussion is that even after these initial 10, 12 chapters are completed and programming discussion is over, Python libraries discussion is over, then EDA, exploratory data analysis part is over, then we will start this thing, machine learning. This everything which is in pink or magenta like color, that thing we will be starting. Now, many people at that time think that this course is what? Data science, machine learning and artificial intelligence. But nowadays AI is that buzzword. So everybody wants directly to jump into AI and they become again restless that why AI is not coming. And AI cannot come directly like that. First you have to develop this fundamental. And when you are learning that, those things, this magenta whole bubble, at that time circle, at that time you should not think that you are not learning AI. That is a part of AI, that you can see it is a subset of AI. It is a part of AI. So fine, you are already learning and we will learn all this in much detail. Neural network also, and deep learning we will learn in sufficient detail, not in much detail. The problem is not about that our course cannot cover it. It will cover in sufficient detail, but there are two issues with deep learning. One is that it is a highly specialized branch, and second is that powerful hardware with GPU etc. required, which many people may not have access to. So that's why we will learn. I will give basic idea about each and every of these things. Okay, so this diagram I show in the beginning of the course, I show repeatedly during the course also, so that you don't feel cheated. That what is this? AI is not coming. My dear fellows, this is all AI. Okay, these are, if you see these things, these are actually the applications of AI. Okay, that intelligent robotics and automated programming and knowledge representation, expert system, planning and scheduling, speech recognition, and all this. So we cannot do that. Of course, some of our projects will cover some things. For example, NLP we will cover, natural language processing, and the today's chatbots like this ChatGPT or Google's Gemini or Meta's Llama, they are ultimately generated from natural language processing only. So we will cover this, but the rest of the things are actually industry applications. Some speech recognition we will cover. Okay, problem solving and search strategies, that we will cover some little bit, but not much. Rest of the things you can learn depending upon which industry you join. And once again, I tell you, unless you learn this pink or magenta bubble, you cannot venture into this area directly. Okay, so please understand that we are already learning your favorite buzzword, that is AI. Okay, with that was an introductory kind of lesson to the fourth chapter, and with next lecture we will start our actual discussion. I will be deleting these two because I needed them only for this initial discussion. They have nothing to do with our NumPy chapter. Okay, so fine. Thank you and see you in next lecture.